Welcome to FHWA's Highway Cybersecurity Fundamentals Read Ahead. A demilitarized zone, referred to as a DMZ, is a physical or logical subnetwork that contains and exposes an organization's external facing services to a larger and untrusted network, usually the Internet. The purpose of a DMZ is to add an additional layer of security to an organization's local area network. An external network node only has direct access to equipment in the DMZ rather than any other part of the network. The name is derived from the term demilitarized zone, an area in which military operation is not permitted. Hosts in the DMZ are permitted to have only limited connectivity to specific hosts in the internal network, as the content of a DMZ is not as secure as the internal network. Similarly, communication between hosts in the DMZ and to the external network is also restricted to make the DMZ more secure than the Internet and suitable for housing these special purpose services. This allows hosts in the DMZ to communicate with both the internal and external network, while an intervening firewall controls the traffic between the DMZ servers and the internal network clients, and another firewall would perform some level of control to protect the DMZ from the external network. Hosts most vulnerable to attack are those that provide services to users outside of the local area network. Because of the increased potential of these hosts suffering attack, they are placed into this specific subnetwork in order to protect the rest of the network if an intruder were to compromise any of them successfully. DMZ configuration provides security from external attack, but it typically has no bearing on internal attacks such as sniffing communications via a packet analyzer or spoofing, topics we will address later on. DMZs are critical applications utilized as part of your defense in depth strategy. A unidirectional network, also referred to as a unidirectional security gateway, or more commonly known as a data diode. It is a network appliance or device allowing data to travel only in one direction, used in guaranteeing information security. They are most commonly found at the industrial control level, where they serve as connections between two or more networks of differing security classifications. Such functionality can be attractive if sensitive data is stored on a network which requires connectivity with the Internet. Traditionally, the data would be vulnerable to intrusions from the Internet. However, with the unidirectional network separating a high side with sensitive data and a low side with Internet connectivity, one can achieve the best of both worlds. This holds true even if both the low and the high network are compromised, as the security guarantees are physical in nature. The controlled interface that compromises the send and receive elements of a unidirectional network acts as a one-way communications protocol break between both two-way network domains it connects. This does not preclude unidirectional network use in transferring protocols like TCP/IP that require communications, including acknowledgments, between sender and receiver. By employing TCP/IP client-server proxies prior to and after one-way transfer, data transported as TCP packet flows can gain the security value of unidirectional transfer. Data diodes are critical applications used as part of your defense in depth strategy. A honeypot is a server that mimics your critical system. This is a well-known method to bait and catch intruders who breach your perimeter. This is a very effective tool to help catch network intruders. A field device converted to a honeypot was how the source of the Sun hacker was confirmed. A honeypot is a computer security mechanism set to detect, deflect, or in some manner counteract attempts at unauthorized use of information systems. Generally, a honeypot consists of data, for example, in a network site that appears to be a legitimate part of the site but is actually isolated and monitored, and that seems to contain information or a resource of value to attackers, which are then blocked. This is similar to the police baiting a criminal and then conducting undercover surveillance and finally punishing the criminal. A honeypot can also be described as an application that creates a sandbox-like environment to trap attackers. Malware honeypots are used to detect malware by exploiting the known replication and attack vectors of malware. Replication vectors such as USB flash drives can easily be verified for evidence of modification, either through manual means or utilizing special purpose honeypots that emulate drives. A secure shell protocol, SSH, honeypot is a highly interactive honeypot solution. It will sit between an attacker and a honeypot, creating two separate SSH connections. A medium interaction SSH honeypot is designed to log brute force attacks and, most importantly, the entire shell interaction performed by the attacker. Another type is called a database honeypot. Databases often get attacked by intruders using what is called SQL injection. As such activities are not recognized by basic firewalls, companies often use database firewalls for protection. Some of the available SQL data firewalls provide support, honeypot architecture, so that the intruder runs against a trapped database while the web application remains functional. Yet another honeypot is called phylogeny. It is a low-level, interactive honeypot that emulates as SSH server. Honeypots are critical applications utilized as part of your defense in depth strategy. Slather them in honey. Honeypots for the win. Two or more honeypots on a network form what is referred to as a honey net. If using a virtual machine, we can have more honeypots than regular servers. This is designed security by obscurity. You know which servers is the real thing. The hackers do not. Unusual activities on any of these fake servers could be a sign of a professional. Honeypots can be also used to gather intelligence on what bad guys are up to. They could be a mapping attempt by an attacker. Kippo is a medium interaction SSH honeypot written in the software language called Python. Kippo is used to log brute force attacks and the entire shell interaction performed by an attacker. Security information and event management software, products, and services combine security information management and security event management. They provide real-time analysis of security alerts generated by network hardware and applications. The logging of the SSH honeypot could be fed into a security information and event management solution. This would then act as a sensor either on the internal network or the externally exposed IP addresses to discover attack activity. Honey SSH is designed to be used in conjunction with the high interaction honeypot. Honey SSH sits between the attacker and the honeypot and creates two separate SSH connections.